Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
The room was quiet, in a way that felt almost unreal, as if even the air itself was holding its breath. Cameras were rolling, lights were softly glowing, and yet everything seemed to pause the moment she looked up. In that instant, Zhao Lusi was not just a well-known figure on a stage, but someone carrying years of emotion that could no longer be neatly contained. What was meant to be a simple interview slowly turned into something far more human. Something that reminded everyone watching that behind the brightness of fame, there is always a heart that feels deeply. And as she began to speak about her journey and the people who have stood beside her, her voice softened, her words slowed, and the atmosphere changed in a way no one could have predicted. What followed was not a performance, not a scripted moment, but a genuine emotional release that left many viewers quietly moved. As she reflected on the years she has spent working, growing, and learning under the public eye, she gently acknowledged the presence of those who have supported her from the very beginning. Her fans, she said, were never just distant observers. They were part of her journey, part of her strength, and part of the reason she continued moving forward, even during the most tiring moments. And in saying this, her emotions became visible, not dramatically, but in the subtle way. Her eyes softened, and her pauses grew longer, as though she was carefully holding back everything she felt. There is something powerful about witnessing sincerity in such a setting. In a world where appearances are often carefully managed, moments like this break through all expectations. She spoke about gratitude, not as a formal expression, but as something deeply personal. It was not about numbers, popularity, or recognition. It was about connection, about the quiet understanding between someone on stage and thousands of people watching from different places, yet feeling the same emotions at the same time. And as she continued, the idea of distance between celebrity and audience seemed to fade, replaced by something much more intimate and grounded. She gently reflected on how time changes everything. The people who once supported her from the very beginning are still there, growing alongside her, sharing in both the lighter and more challenging moments of her journey. There was a sense of disbelief in her voice, not because she doubted their presence, but because she was genuinely moved by its consistency. In an industry where everything moves quickly, where attention shifts and moments pass, such lasting support feels almost extraordinary. And that realization seemed to touch her deeply, bringing a quiet, emotional weight to her words. At one point, she paused, as if searching for the right way to express something that could not easily be put into language. And then, she simply smiled, faintly, as though accepting that some feelings do not need perfect sentences. They just need to be felt. It was in this moment that the atmosphere shifted once again, becoming softer, more reflective. The audience, both in the room and watching online, seemed to understand without needing explanation. There was a shared sense of empathy, a recognition of vulnerability that required no translation. What makes moments like this resonate so widely is not just the person at the center of them, but what they represent. Many viewers see reflections of their own experiences in such expressions of emotion. The feeling of being supported when things are difficult. The comfort of knowing that someone, even from afar, appreciates your effort. The quiet encouragement that helps people continue when things feel overwhelming. In this sense, the interview became more than a media moment. It became a shared emotional space where admiration and empathy met halfway. As she continued speaking, she touched on the idea of growth, not as a destination, but as a continuous process shaped by both struggle and encouragement. She acknowledged that there were moments of pressure, moments of uncertainty, and times when things felt heavier than expected. Yet she also recognized that these moments were never experienced alone. There was always a sense of companionship from those who supported her, even if they were not physically present. And in that realization, there was a quiet strength, not loud or dramatic, but steady and enduring. Her gratitude extended beyond words, appearing instead in the way she spoke, with honesty, without distance or formality. It felt as though she was speaking not to an audience, but to people she genuinely knew and valued. This subtle shift in tone created an atmosphere that was deeply engaging, drawing viewers closer into the moment rather than keeping them at a distance. It reminded everyone that authenticity does not require grand gestures. Sometimes it is found in the simplest expressions of appreciation. As the conversation gently progressed, there was a noticeable sense of reflection in her presence. She seemed to be revisiting not just public milestones, but private emotions that had accompanied them. The weight of expectations, the pace of change, and the constant visibility that comes with recognition all formed part of her journey. Yet alongside these challenges, there was also warmth, encouragement, and a sense of shared experience that helped balance the more difficult moments. What stood out most was the emotional honesty of the exchange. There was no attempt to exaggerate or dramatize what was being said. Instead, there was a calm acceptance of everything that had been experienced along the way, and within that acceptance, there was peace, a quiet understanding that every step, whether difficult or joyful, contributed to the person she had become. For many watching, this created a deeply relatable feeling. It was not about celebrity or distance, but about recognizing the same emotional patterns in everyday life. The idea that even those who appear strong and admired also experience moments of vulnerability and reflection. And in that recognition, there is comfort, a reminder that emotional strength is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to continue with sincerity despite it. As the interview drew closer to its natural end, the atmosphere remained soft and thoughtful. There was no rush to conclude, no sudden shift back to formality. Instead, there was a gentle sense of closure, as though everyone involved understood the value of what had just been shared. It was not just an interview. It was a moment of connection that lingered quietly, even after the words had stopped. In the end, what remained was not just the image of a public figure expressing emotion, but the deeper feeling of shared humanity, a reminder that behind every spotlight there are real emotions, real gratitude, and real bonds that cannot always be seen but are deeply felt. And for many viewers, that was what made the moment truly unforgettable. If you have been moved by this story today, thank you for staying with us here on Update X24H. We are committed to bringing you more meaningful stories from the world of entertainment, moments that go beyond headlines and into the emotions that connect us all. If you would like to stay updated with more heartfelt and inspiring content like this, we warmly invite you to subscribe to our channel. Your support truly helps us continue sharing these stories with care and sincerity. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you with us in the next update.